Great evening, Nigerians. Welcome to Updates with Precious. Thank you so much for joining us. I'll keep apologizing, even though I say I need to apologize again. I will continue to apologize. Sincere apologies for starting late. This is Christmas now, and activities full everywhere. So make gonna forgive me for starting late. But I cannot let it go. One day like this go by. Make I not give on an update of things that happen. I said I'm not giving public holiday, so I will continue to give on an update, but I'm not gonna just manage the time adjustment. Welcome to the show. My name is Precious Amy. And it always jollificates my heart to bring on the things when they happen for inside the country. I want to say now updates with that sharp. Make I begin giving us some updates of things in the channel for the country. Coalition of Abuja groups, coalition of northern groups reject new tax laws, calls for mass resistance, nationwide strike. That one we'll go talk about that. Now, Tinubu Presidential Committee denies documents circulating as Nigeria's gazetted tax laws with alterations. They say, no. This one with the spread, no be our own, no be our own. Which one can be on our own? We're coming to that. AAC accuses Tinubu of legalizing poverty through altered tax laws. Tinubu handled XNMDPRA boss Farouk Ahmed sacking with respect because in they avoid to offend Northern Power Base. Who talk this one? Them say sources. Now you talk this one. Say, Oga no one here say you don't make Northerners vex. So now waiting making just use style handle the matter we concern Farouk accusation. Could that be the reason why instead of ICPC to invite person with accused for crime, they invite Dangote? That and the question people they ask. Tinubu signed tax bills. Tinubu signed tax bills. National Assembly presented to him. Taiwo Yedele na the top down. So now that one way BC National Assembly presents now. So tell us the difference now. In never tell us. PRP calls for Tinubu's impeachment if found guilty over alleged tax reform laws and forgery. Impeachment for where? Don't joke. You play too much. New tax law. Full impact of reforms will become clearer from January 1. Why we no go know what they go into right now before the January 1? Why? I told you earlier that PRP seeks Tinubu's impeachment over alleged tax laws alteration. Okay, not go enter inside security matter now. As federal government don't designate kidnappers, bandits as terrorists. Remember, we talked about that last week. But they don't follow the process now. NSA hands over remaining 130 St. Mary's Catholic School pupils, teachers to Governor Bago, the governor of Niger State. 28 kidnapped while traveling from Malud in Plateau State. Again, the thing that they stop. Police arrest 3 over alleged possession of human parts in Osun State. Human parts. Who tell on say ritual medicine they work? Who tell on say money ritual they work? Now the native doctor never get money pass Dangote. No terrorist group in Iwo. Olowo refutes reports on religious group. And make we see other issues. 2 dead in Benue bandit attack. That one said the federal government, I don't tell on say they don't designate the terrorist. Oya Shokweti law, who talk this on? APC will use the money to fund 2027 elections. Citizens now don't cast doubt on rights implementation of 2.1 billion US dollar grant for Christians in Nigeria. Say, hey, be like son, I don't just give APC campaign money, be that. But United States, they follow their money up because they go know what's gonna use their money to. I've been waiting, they won't answer US. Okay, now when the time reach, you go talk about them. Court grants Nigerian government request to reopen terrorism case against Bello Tuji's alleged financiers. Now, people with the finance them, they be don't close the case. Now, court don't tell Nigerian government, excuse me, when I go ahead now to open back the case again, make you know the people then with the finance them and the, high tech people. Do you suspect any name to be among them? Make we move on. IGP Egbetoku didn't demobilize presidential escort. Officers lodged in Lagos hotels near Tinubu's residence. This is not an exclusive from Sahara reporters. Say Egbetoku no demobilize anything, no commodity. Say the officers then just the hotel, they chillax, they wait. AAC accuses Tinubu of legalizing poverty through altered tax laws. And then crisis brews in Adamawa community as militias allegedly murder NYSC member. Hey, you go serve na problem again, you die. Debt servicing took up 54.3 trillion naira for Nigeria's revenue in next 3 years. 54.3 trillion naira now will use service debt. Not be to pay service. Tainted glass policy. Nigerian court asked to commit IGP Egbetekun spokesperson Hundeyin to prison for contempt of court. Why on a go against court law? Venezuela Solidarity Group in Nigeria condemns alleged US seizure of Chinese vessels, calls it maritime piracy. In case you don't understand, people will support Venezuela. Say, US, why are you dealing with Venezuela anyhow? Stop it, stop it. All this thing when they seize from Venezuela, don't do it. Then no protest on the ones that they happen for their country. Now, Venezuela, oh, it's shocking. Now, Nigeria, we did. Meanwhile, getting into politics now. Lagos Governor Sanwo-Olu swears in Speaker Obasa's son as Agege local government chairman. It's shocking. I remember how that Obasa story is good. Somebody else win election. As he win election finish, he can later come step down. Say, you know what? Make a step down and then they do again. Now Oga Obasa son use become chairman like this. So they don't swear in. Hey, hey. Okay now, okay. They shock you. Don't worry yourself. Now so you go there like generational wealth. Sorry, generational title. Now so you go they pass from hand to hand, and all of you will be here. You and I will be here talking and just talking, and nothing will come out of it. NSCDC operatives shoots 5 traders at Just Market as rights groups petition IGP Egbetekun Attorney General over the incident. Nigerian soldiers in Northeast Operation Lafia Dole lament irregular unpaid allowances. Say they don't even pay us well, oh, they give us anyhow allowance. In fact, sometimes they don't even pay the allowance waiting they happen. But these people now they fight terrorists. Ah, okay. Brand new residents confused as Tinubu commissions 3,000 electric bikes despite motorcycle ban. In case you don't understand this, I'll make I explain that to you. So the state ban motorcycle, especially because of say terrorists, the disability use them and all that. So now the same state come by 3,000 motorcycles, electric one, where the president come commission. But I know people they say, I don't understand. We don't understand. It is confusing. Excuse me, your lord. I don't understand. How do you commission a bike that will end up not using in the same states? Because they ban motorcycle for the state. I don't understand. Let's not shock you. This is Nigeria. Yeah, moving on. Peter Obi, 7.5 billion naira spent on officials' kids abroad could fund self-sustaining schools for 600 Nigerian children yearly amid 18 million out of school crisis. That is, amid 18 million out of school crisis. Why rich people children will spend about 7.5 billion naira? Farouk, 7.5 billion. Now your children use go school for 6 years. Secondary school alone. Meanwhile, that school will fit fund good education for 6,000 Nigerian children. Now wow. Okay, let's go. If no constant electricity in 4 years, don't vote for me. Tinubu said that they still pledge acres and make 2025 blackouts. So because of the kind of blackouts that they happen now, and they won't waste it, they happen. If you notice, you will hear fan from my background because I have to be using inverter and I cannot use AC with inverter. Why? Because lights no day, and I don't know why lights no green day. Whether they ban ABC, people say they no get lights. What's in they happen? And now people can remind President Tinubu say, excuse me, you say if you not vote, you not give us electricity, make we no vote for you. That's what the thing just a trend today. That's what the thing just a trend today. Okay, let's go back. Tinubu's government set to borrow 54 trillion in 3 years. So you do waiting. Nigeria matter. They explain that to you. You know, if you understand all of them finish. Because it's going to do you like say, now the more you look, the less you see, 9 EDB. And then moving on, 5.1 billion health MOU signed with US indicates unbroken bilateral relationships. Tinubu government, now they talk that one. That's against the one people they talk, say, hey, Shokotilo, they not carry that money, go. Now go, the money don't go be that. Well, let's begin the conversation today. So before I start the conversation, I would like just giving us some update of some things in Willie Sheller because earlier today, so Oga NSA, Nuhu Ribado begin trend for the streets of social media. And people come they say, what's in the happen? What Oga NSA the trend? Some people come they talk say, if they not sack this Oga NSA, if they not sack him, what's in happen? I mean, it was all over social media today. And as make I just give another scoop before I start the conversation proper. So earlier today, Oga Nuhu Ribado was trending across the streets of social media. Why they trend? Because of say waiting people they talk say made in picture. Now see some of the messages make you not be like saying I'm here and from. See I'm now. Nuhu Ribado, National Security Advisor, must be sacked and investigated. Why did they call for his sack? Nuhu Ribado say he must be sacked. Now so people just they carry and they post up and down throughout the day. Some people can say wait. You mean a National Security Advisor get mind to give arms to a militia group we belong to in ethnic nationality? Excuse me. Okay, not the militia group. He give a group Wait, that is, it give in ethnic nationality, gun, ammunition, say, make them use as vigilantes. And these are the same people will be saying, because of their activities and the activities of some of their members, government don't designate those ones will be militia among them. When they enter people places, shoot them anyhow, do anyhow. And then these same people too, I mean, headsmen, you can't still carry gun, give some of them, say, make them be vigilante. How can they vigilante? Not in the north, though. They're doing vigilante in Kwara State. Do you get me? Kwara Kogi State. They're doing vigilante in another person's land. How do you do that? That's a question where people they ask. You carry, you can see the responses now. Make it not be like saying I may talk on my head because they say lizard where one person say now python now they become. So they see the response and reactions. And I think Manjovic says the fact that Nuhu Ribadu still holds his position as NSA after recruiting, arming, funding, defending terrorist Mieti Allah. You see, I'm not a me writer. She'll tell you everything you need to know about the complicity of the APC government and its plans to bury Nigeria, a now disgraced country. Stop it, man, Jovic, stop it. And then I think an uncle named Chike says Fulani terrorists must be completely obliterated from the face of the earth. No, the terrorists, yeah, not the ethnic group. Now, this is what you must communicate to your people in the village. The NS in Huribado arming Mieti Allah in the name of empowering vigilante is wasting his time. We know their agenda. This now so people come begin provoke for the streets of social media. They talk that it was trending today. And you know me, I say I go bring on up to speed with waiting the sheller because my work has to bring on the G so the sheller. So I go really like on our thoughts on our reaction. Do you think that the people would agitate for in removal or sack, they were very right to do so. They're very correct to do so. I mean, talking about in removal, it ain't mind blowing if we talk about this insecurity thing and how it take be because the kind of things that don't happen for insecurity for this country. And I think so. If you say they explain that to you, if you understand finish, and they come to that conversation. I mean, I'm getting to that conversation. But let's get straight to the tax issue. As a coalition of left-leaning organizations under the network of Northern Abuja lefts groups has condemned the new tax laws scheduled to take effect on January 1, 2026, describing them as a cruel attack. In case you don't understand cruel, wicked anyhow attack on Nigeria's working population and calling for mass resistance, including a nationwide strike action. Say Nigerians, make una not agree, make una mobilize. Make una not agree for this government at all. Make una make sure say una no go agree for this government. Make everybody resist this one. It don't do. Make una no agree because this one what they do, we no understand the level they do and reach. How it be say people they poor, people no see food chop, and they do waiting on they do. Now, in a press statement issued today, Monday, December 22, the group accused the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of using taxation as a tool to further impoverish Nigerians already struggling with the effects of subsidy removal, rising inflation, and unemployment. Wait, people they already suffer different kind of suffer. The suffer within the suffer get different shape and form. In fact, for the Buhari administration, they say now multidimensional poverty. Why? Because the poverty of many colors. You understand, like coat of many colors. They never even talk about that poverty where they go through finish. And then what do you now do? You go ahead now to add more tax laws. Why this not even we they collect the tax? Now another country they collect the tax on our behalf. To use do it to cause suffer people more. God, can you do it like that now? Go good now. How you go do something like that? Ain't no good at all. This now we see people come they talk, come they complain. Now waiting they group them, then they talk. Then let's go further to that. The network in Abuja, the network of Abuja northern left groups considers the new tax laws scheduled for implementation on January 1, 2026 as a declaration of war on the working people of Nigeria. That's what the statement read in parts. Now, these laws are not a reform, but weapons fashioned against Nigerian working people. Saying a weapon fashioned against the working class of Nigeria. The group wants that Nigerian government, the Nigerian government to halt the implementation of the laws, alleging that the policy was designed to serve the interest of an oligarchic class and to serve what it described as oppressive foreign debts rather than promote national development. He won't use our money collect from the poor, serve the rich, will be your friends them, and come help fund the Igbo people, then will be your allies. Why did you do like this now? That's not what they try to talk. Now, the coalition also referenced claims by some lawmakers that the tax laws were altered after being passed by the National Assembly, describing the allegation against and changes as evidence of criminal intent. Now, the attempt to govern with a doctored statute is the act of junta. That's what the group talks. Say for you to even use something with them forge, say na junta now you do like that. That is not cool. They commit against us. Now, then they want for us to say, calling on organized labor to take a firm stand. The network urged the Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress, TUC, to resist the policy and declare a nationwide strike. They said, we urge the NLC and TUC not to betray the will of Nigerians, the statements said. We call on the NLC and TUC to declare a nationwide strike protest to support the agitation of Nigerians against the anti-people new tax law and the anti-people policies of the Tinubu administration. Because not just about the new tax law, now about the entire policy of this administration and how the team know they're healthy for people at all, how they affect the people. Now, drawing parallels with historical resistance to taxation during the colonial era, the coalition cited events such as the Aba women's riots and protests by Egba women, arguing that unjust taxes have historically been resisted by Nigerians. In case you don't understand, if you know the story of Aba women's riots and Egba women's protests. So now they talk to say, see, on a don't do it before Nigerians. You have done it before, you can do it again. Saying no to anyhow taxing. Taxing we go make on a poor. No, make on a no agree. We don't do it before. What thing they say, you cannot tax poverty into prosperity. It is an impossible strategy, the group said, adding that it was angry that despite 65 years of independence, Tinubu is still trying to tax us as cruelly, as wickedly as the colonial masters. Now, as part of its demands, the network called for the immediate and unconditional suspension of the tax laws and the commencement of a repeal process. It insisted that any future tax reforms must be subjected to genuine and popular deliberation beyond the National Assembly. Maybe something will be say go involve the public too. Town hall meetings and all of that, open sessions. Now, the statement concluded with a call to unity among workers, youths, and students. Everybody, this one concern us. So if we are not protest and are not join man, now all of us go suffer. And so make on a come, vowing that the network would actively participate in organizing resistance against the laws. A government that gives nothing to citizens should not take away everything, or should not take everything away from the same citizens. That's what the coalition talked. Now, the statement was jointly signed by representatives of the 10 organizations we did for inside the committee, including the Revolutionary Socialist Movement, Social Workers League, Committee of the Defense of Human Rights, Democratic Socialists Movement, and the Solidarity Network of Workers' Rights. All of them join together, sign them, say no. Make Nigerians come together. Make them say no to this one. Make them resist them. You know they good. If I see what you know they good, make on a talk say you know they good. Make on a no even try them at all. But then a lot of people are asking how this one will take work. Because the Presidential Tax Force Committee that don't come out, they explain to us, I don't understand, excuse me, waiting Tinubu sign into law, now waiting EB said the National Assembly give them, it is not like that. But let's even take it one at a time. As the chairman of the Presidential Tax Committee, Taiwo Yedele, has denied claims that the Nigeria's newly gazetted tax law were altered, insisting that the committee reportedly linked to the alleged changes has not even convened. Say the committee said when they put, or they said they never even start their work. Said. Now, he really addressed the controversy during an appearance on Channel Television, where he clarified that, that reports circulating online about amendments of the tax laws were misleading and unfounded. Now, he said, I joined Channels TV to discuss recent issues about the gazetted copies of the new tax laws. To be clear, this is not a legislative versus executive blame game, nor is it politics. It is a process and governance issue. That's what you talk. Oyedele made the remarks in his capacity as chairman of the Presidential Tax Committee on Monday today. Now, responding directly to allegations of alterations, Oyedele denounced or distanced rather himself and the committee from the viral documents purporting to online specific changes to the laws. Now, the viral documents claiming specific alterations to the tax laws and presented as the report of the committee set up to investigate the issue surfaced when the committee had not even met. So say, come, and they show us waiting to say the committee bring up. But the committee never even sit down. So which time when they used to do this one? Now he stated that the misinformation surrounding tax reforms risk undermining public trust, noting that taxation lies at the heart of the relationship between citizens and their state. But that's relationship now. Wait till we talk because the citizen and the state never get very good relationship before, especially as it gets to do with taxes. And in fact, social contracts. They never get good relationships because all the money we will give on wait till that the user do. Our natural resources will put on our hand, wait till that they use and give us. Security and they give us. Water now we they give ourselves. Light now we they give ourselves. Now me they give myself the inverter while they use work. Now not being installed for me. Light and I no green give me. So what exactly? Even roads. People were stranded today because of bad roads as they travel for the U-tide. So what exactly are you giving to the citizens? People don't forget something as important as healthcare. Something as important as healthcare for free. And this is the part of what people they complain about. When people cannot even access healthcare for free, then what are we really talking about? At least when they get life, get healthcare first for free. But they're not getting that in this administration. In fact, in Nigeria generally, start with this administration. To be fair to this administration. So why I go sick if I not get money to pay deposits, God forbid, then go die. Person go die because he not get money to pay deposits. In a country where it be said the resources where the land they managed by the government, but a government official feel go fee they paid by government through that money will give them to manage. Why would it be like that? A government official will get newspaper allowance and dressing allowance to look good to go represent us. But a citizen of that country no go fee gets free access to education, free healthcare. Make on a check and go now. So now, Oyedele says tax policies affect citizens directly, being at the center of the social contract. So it must be anchored in trust and facts, not fear or misinformation, which only creates uncertainty and further undermines confidence. That's when you talk. You urge the public and stakeholders to avoid spreading unverified claims and instead focus on strengthening institutional process. Rather than spreading misinformation, we should seize this moment to strengthen our process, deepen accountability, and build a tax system that moves Nigeria forward, he said. Now, he also warned that halting or rejecting the reforms based on false claims would have negative consequences for the economy. He said rejecting the stalling reform is not, or rejecting rather, or stalling the reform is not a natural choice at all. It means preserving a broken system that overtaxes workers, hurts small businesses, sustains multiple and nuisance taxes, and distorts economic growth. That's what you talk. Now, it would be recalled, of course, say a lot of people, social rights movement and all that, don't the SERAP don't even accountability, don't order them, make them come clear. Remember yesterday I told you how SERAP ordered them that if they don't come and clarify this matter and show them evidence of the gazetted one and the new one, say it no go better because it will tough. But not just all that. A lot of people don't also they accuse President Tinubu, say, you know what? I mean, if I make a go give you some guy or your daily talk, let's take a listen to what he said. When we come back, we'll look at other issues around it. Take a listen.
Which is why I said let's wait for the outcome of the investigation.
The argument is to whether there were modifications, removals, omissions in the gazetted, as you've explained from your position as to what you think it is and how we must seize this opportunity. Because we know that legislative powers resides purely with the National Assembly according to Section 4 and Section 58 of the Constitution. So except there are clerical errors and all of that, which are even has to go through the National Assembly. Now, there are people that are calling, without going to some specifics, there are people that are calling for a suspension of implementation to avoid a bit of chaos on January the 1st. Is that a valid call from where you sit?
Yeah, so I think, I'll also tell you that even before this alleged alteration issue came up, there are people who have been calling for suspension. There are people who have been saying no to the reform, we cannot do it for whatever reasons. The biggest issue we've had to deal with and that we're still dealing with has been misinformation. Now, if you speak to the legal provisions and who has the powers, even if we want to postpone the implementation of the law, it has to be the lawmakers. That's far beyond my pay grade. So that decision has to be made, and I believe that decision for them will be a function of what their findings from this investigation reveal. But just to put it very clearly to the Nigerian people, What some people have done is to have recruited unsuspecting Nigerians to fight the reform that is meant to benefit the generality of the people, and by creating fear. So what is the cost of delay? What is the cost of not going ahead 1st of January? What is the cost of suspending it or not going ahead with the reform? It will mean simply that we continue with the status quo, which is that the bottom 98% of workers remain overtaxed. Small businesses miss out on exemptions, so they continue to pay multiple taxes and high tax burden. Large firms continue with their multiple and nuisance taxes, right? Minimum taxes continue to apply on low-income earners and small businesses and on profitable businesses. Hidden VAT continue to make the prices of basic consumption like food, healthcare, and education to go up. And then the wasteful, distortionary incentive that we have that is distorting the economy will continue. So we need to be clear about what we're asking for. That's why I keep saying that even if it's established that there have been substantial alterations to what the National Assembly passed, my view would be identify those provisions, and those provisions, of course, mean they're not part of the law. So you then go ahead and implement the law as passed by the National Assembly while you address those issues as to how did they get in there and what should we do. I'll say to you, even just looking at the things that were passed by the National Assembly, the areas where even my committee, we've noted areas where we need to go back, of course, through Mr. President, to request for amendment to those laws, because there were issues to do with referencing, issues of definition. You may be aware, like small business, for example, is defined in two of the new laws, and the definition is different. So, like, if you are defining a small business, why don't you just define it in one way so people are not confused? So those issues already require some intervention from the lawmakers, and for us, we'll be taking advantage of.
So that's Oga Oyedele when he basically answer questions concerning, to clarify what can get to do with this new tax law. But we'll take a listen to more
on
things
derivation and all of that. This has been one exhausting procedure, really. So I see a lot of businesses that are already marking up for next year's budgeting. So when they say, okay, do a budget for this for next year, they add to it because there's a lot of uncertainty for them. A lot of people think it's going to be some sort of an Armageddon. So they are preparing for the worst, marking up just to have a buffer in case things go awry. Maybe you also want to speak to those businesses. I mean, we're following the outcome of this investigation, but there are a lot of people, as I said, who are already marking up because they're thinking, we don't know what will happen if we're already charging VAT, consumption tax already 15%. Some are even adding to it, thinking we might even need to do 20% next year. I want you to speak to that as well, because I see it as a trend. And if you've seen budgets for next year, Mr. Oyedele, it's almost unholy at this point.
Very important question, Kayode. And I see this a lot. And sometimes for me, it's just so heartbreaking. One of my friends, who is a director at the NESD, called me, I think it was last weekend or maybe 2 weeks ago. He wanted to make a dress and went to the tailor. And the tailor gave a price that he considered was too high. So he just concluded it must be to do with year-end and Christmas. You have too many demands. You don't have time for me. And he said to the tailor, I'll wait because I'm not pressed for time. I'll come back in January and make my dress when the price will be reasonable. Guess what the tailor said? He said, don't wait till January because the price will go up even further. And he said, why? He said tax reform. So the next question was, which part of the tax reform? Of course, the tailor has no idea. But in his mind, he's been sold this narrative that this tax reform will make things go up, and he's already planning to add price to what he's doing. This is so dangerous and unfair to the system. This tax reform law has been designed to bring down costs for businesses. Businesses will be getting input credit for VAT on their assets, on their overhead that they never got before. This is worth 3.4 trillion naira, just based on 2024 tax collection. Large businesses will see a drop in their corporate tax rate from 30% to 25%. 98% of workers in the private and public sector combined would either no longer pay PAYE or they will pay less than they were paying before. Small businesses, up to 100 million turnover a year, will not pay corporate tax, no VAT, no withholding tax. The narrative we should be saying is that we expect prices to come down, not to give people the excuse to raise prices. I don't know how else we can convince ourselves that what we are doing now, many of us, is not helping us. We pray for a better society. We want a country that can at least take care of all of us. And then when we have reforms to do exactly that, we spin it and change it to a negative reform such that people are now even afraid of it. You know, interestingly, some of the things they've used to sell the misinformation and create fear and panic are in the current tax laws in a worse form. The current tax law requires you to provide tax ID. It gives the taxman the power to collect information from your bank. It has multiple taxation for individuals. So all the things that people are afraid of are in worse form in the current law. Many of those taxes have been removed under the new one. There's no consumption tax of 15 or 20.
All right, so going by this explanation, if it truly be true, then that means it's supposed to mean well for a lot of low-income earners and businesses. But the question be say, there are lots of other things within inside that tax where we say will not be clear with. Again, waiting be our relationship with France handling the tax, some aspect of the tax. That's my question where people they ask. And why France of all people? And that's why people think that, oh, you just go collect tax, this thing when they work for developed country, come bring and come here. This is not part of the thing we say. People they talk and why people they fear and they comment for this thing like this. And a lot of other people had something to say. So people they talk say, I mean, as we look for source, different sources of revenue, why we not also concentrate on other minerals what we get? Why it be till today? Waiting would they use benchmark our budget or what would they put for our budget? Now oil. Waiting happen to other minerals what we get. Nigeria get over 50 something minerals for inside this country, if not more than. Please remind me. So what will they do with the rest of the minerals? I mean, we saw somebody, a lady yesterday, defending the bandits or terrorists and saying that not only there's a bit where we get our precious minerals from inside the bush, they're not bandits. Why government, as precious as Nigerian gold is, why government no they look at also adding our gold to inside the prices of our gold to inside our budget? Not be small Burkina Faso right now, don't get their own gold reserve. Not be small Burkina Faso. So what's it happen if we do like that? If we have a gold that has its own market, why Ibise will not fit develop that industry properly? As it would have put her inside crude oil matter rich, why will not fit put her inside that one well? What's be the problem? And so same thing with other minerals. Why Ibise will just get a particular resources where Ibise will just leave? That one are waiting the boys, they use the nice themselves up. But then you get others where Ibise will the chook eye put inside well. Or rather tax the public than to put eye for resources where we say we're supposed to use better ourselves, where a few people they use anyhow. That's not questions we say people they ask, But then let's move on to other issues concerning this tax problem. I think speaking about this are the reason we make it be like say Peter Ame, CUPP former Oga, get to talk, say, I mean to thief our crude oil, be waiting to be say somebody will just carry straw one corner thief. Now something will take a whole barge to land inside your water. Oh. Come drive, come out, for dry but to even anchor for inside the water. Then come load finish. Then come out. And then we now get our naval officers catch them. They need to do them anything. Let's take a listen to him say that.
Sustaining and people will have respect for it. So
are you against state police?
I'm not against state police, but I'm saying we can't leave one problem and create another bureaucratic bottlenecks everywhere. And then try to restructure it that will, fall back to the crisis we already have. We have police. Are we funding them? No. Are we giving them the necessary infrastructure to be able to carry out their security work? No. Are we giving them the necessary morale for the personnel to be equipped enough to say, no, we are working for our country? People don't even respect road safety anymore. I remember I was being begged to join road safety in the early years of my life, and I said, no, I didn't want to.
I chose politics.
I chose business. I was into business before, a long time before I joined politics. Those watching knows, So what we are saying is that the system needs to have a tailored process in managing already existing institutions and give them the necessary resources that they need to have. Today we have the Navy. How much is the Navy doing in our waterways? You remember that a ship was caught by the Americans for stealing our crude oil. Today, we're not going to hear anything later about that theft. Crude oil theft people talk about. It's not like somebody bringing entering through a window and taking a phone from a person's house. You have to bring the whole ship that will be more, the cargo ship that will be more than 2 times this building that we're in. So, but still, our Navy can arrest them. We have private security that we're spending 17.5 trillion naira. So money that is 3 times our money we paid for 12 years, money we pay for subsidy. So we need to have a proper cost-effective measure of putting our money where it will be more effective and beneficial to general people. We can't have a police and we spend 17.5 trillion. Where? We can't have a police and we spend 7.5 trillion. So
what you're saying is that if we're going to come up with, if we're going to decentralize the policing system or the structure, we must ensure that it doesn't end up like the Nigerian police that we have now.
That's
all right. So I mean, you see that example where we say Inge for inside that conversation. It is very worrisome. Some things we say they happen for inside Nigeria. But then let's move on very quickly to other issues. I mean, a lot of rights groups don't talk. They condemn, the tax laws. You have let's see that. Okay, so you have the African Action Congress condemning the alleged alteration of Nigeria's tax laws by the Tinubu's administration and describing the move as a legalized punishment of the poor to enrich the powerful. So, be like saying, I just want legally, punish the poor to enrich those who be seeking money. And a lot of other people then don't also they complain and they talk about them. As a matter of fact, even PRP, a Redemption Party, they don't escalate the growing controversy surrounding the Nigeria's newly enacted tax reforms laws, demanding the immediate impeachment of Bola Ahmed Tinubu if evidence links him to the alleged unauthorized alterations of the legislation after its passage by the National Assembly. Now, in a strongly worded statement issued today, Monday, by the National Chairman Falalu Bello, the PRP described the allegation tampering as an unforgivable breach of trust and mockery of the Nigerian people. Say, this one, maybe we're supposed to forgive. Say, they mock Nigerian people and not be waiting person to forgive anyhow. The party accused the executive arm of government of clandestinely inserting and deleting provisions of the tax laws without legislative approval, actions it labeled a grave threat to constitutional democracy. Now, if evidence emerges implicating President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in these illegal manipulations, the PRP calls for his impeachment without delay. That's what you talk, Mr. Bello talk. Somebody impeach him without delay because this one is a serious crime. Now, no individual, including the president, should be above the law. The PRP further demanded the suspension of the implementation of the disputed tax laws set to take effect on January 1, 2026, until a thorough investigation resolves all discrepancies between the version that is passed and the one that was gazetted. That's now we see the said and talk. So a lot of other people too don't they make the same complaint and they talk the same thing. Say no. Make we no agree for this one. No. Make we make sure say we hold them down. Make it be say happen like that. Okay, so let's go on to other issues. I mean, somebody else said this here. So new tax laws. Yeah, they don't ask for full impeachment. Nigeria's Federal Inland Revenue Service don't say that the full impact of the tax reforms is expected to become clearer by January 1. So make a hope say that won't happen. But let's get straight to other issues. This time around, as it gets to do with security for inside our country, because security matter now something we need to finish. But before we get to security, let's quickly deal with what thing gets to do with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and how he handled Farouk Ahmed issue. So, according to Gossip and Scoop, where ABC Sahara reporters carry, they say President Bola Ahmed Tinubu handled the removal of Farouk Ahmed, ex-chief executive and MD of the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NMDPRA, with caution, aiming not to upset his northern political base. That's what they talk. So what's making use careful handle, and he no one make nothing as vex. So alongside Ahmed, Benga Komolafe also vacated his position as CEO of the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission. So as they tell downstream to resign, they still also get to tell upstream to resign. Make it not be like, say, hey, you leave your Yoruba brother. Now, brother, now you tell to go. Now, Ahmed had previously faced corruption allegation from Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote. And according to sources identified as scion of the Sokoto Caliphate, was handled with particular care during his exit to avoid offending northern political interests. According to them, when it was time to remove Ahmed, President Tinubu avoided confronting him directly and instead dispatched an aide identified only as Muri and believed to be Hakim Muri Okunola to request his resignation. So, say he sent Hakim Muri Okunola to tell him, say, Oga, you will get to resign. I don't want to sack you, but he says he don't day now. The accusation when they accuse you now go day bad for my name and our government. I no say no fit afford this one now. So instead of me to sack you, it be like say go better, make you go. Now, in contrast, Komola first exit was reportedly influenced by considerations of ethnic balancing. So as they sack not, make it not be like say they no sack Southwest Yoruba person. Meanwhile, sources also said that Komolafe had earlier been advised by Tinubu to resist attempts by businessman Dangote to influence regulatory decisions. Say Tinubu bin not advise Komolafe, make he not let Dangote influence the regulation of crude oil, make he not let them sit down chim. According to this gossip, now while the Dangote is set to feel triumphant over his influence in regulating regulatory appointments, the removal of Farouk Ahmed was reportedly delicately handled by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to prevent any fallouts with northern political base or elites generally. So that's the gossip carrier. Farouk Ahmed was called by Tinubu to resign while Benga Komolafe was removed for ethnic balancing. You see the difference? Now, Tinubu reportedly once told Benga Komolafe to resist Aliko Dangote, claiming that the businessman is a manipulator. One of the sources said, No, I don't believe this. No. Sahara reporters. Oh, wow. Now, when it was time to remove Farouk Ahmed, Tinubu could not confront him to resign. So he sent an aide, Muri, to ask him to resign. Now, Farouk is a scion of the Sokoto Caliphate. He was handled with respect, not to offend his northern power base. Dangote's allegations against Farouk, of course, I know it's in a be like, so this gossip, people are saying, okay, so everything is about politics. Anything what you do now with political view, how 2027 will be, that's all they take this year. Let's get straight into another matter where it also make nothing as vexed while I'm coming to that. The federal government has officially classified kidnappers and violent armed groups operating across the country as terrorists. Now, the development signaled a major escalation in Nigeria's response to abduction, attacks on farmers, and persistent community violence. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, announced the development during the federal government's end-of-year press briefing in Abuja on Monday. And there now he talk a lot of things. He say, henceforth, any armed group or individual that kidnaps our children, attacks our farms, and terrorize our communities is officially classified as what again? And will be dealt with as terrorists, the minister said. So that is to say that, not tell me saying a former header clash. As long as they carry gun, enter community, keep people, they are terrorists. So that means armed Fulani militias where they do those things when they call former headers clash, terrorists. Now, according to him, the policy ends years of what he described as unclear levels of violent groups terrorizing communities across the country. Now, the era of ambiguous nomenclatures is over. If you terrorize our people, whether you are a group or you are an individual, you are terrorizing and will be classified. Sorry, you're a terrorist and will be classified as such. There is no name hiding under this again. That's what Idris thought. This one, it go cause a lot of reaction because people don't say, you say waiting. I'm coming to that conversation because waiting make this conversation very interesting. As I told you, I said earlier today, Oga Dangote been the trend. Sorry, Oga NSA been the trend. And waiting make the trend now because of waiting in talk as it get to do with waiting in do as it gets to do with giving some full headsmen an NSA designated gun to use as vigilantes. And this one don't cause a lot of reaction, but let me quickly finish reading that, then we get back to the conversation because this one it don't raise a lot of controversy and people don't talk say no it get as this one will take bill go dey easy like that to do this one. So now according to him he said the policy he said now the era of ambiguity. He explained that the new approach would enhance intelligence sharing, and improve operational coordinates among security agencies, enabling quicker and more decisive action against perpetrators of the violence. I feel like we could go listen to Ramoy talk before I go to why Ibi say this one will be a lot of problem waiting to happen. Take a listen to him
them.
first.
Let me clear about what this means. That henceforth, any armed group that kidnaps our children, that attacks our farmers, that terrorizes our communities, is officially classified and will be dealt with as a terrorist organization, any individual or any group. This is the declaration that Mr. President has made. Now, the era of ambiguous nomenclature is over. If you terrorize our people, whether you are a group or you are an individual, you are a terrorist and you'll be classified as such. There is no any name hiding under this.
All right, so you don't hear Asin talk and I don't hear Asin take talk and this one, it don't raise a lot of controversy. So first, earlier today, I tell on and say, Organo who rebutted the NAC come begin trend, and I show on clips of what people really talk about. Ouch, I just took that away. I tell on what people really talk about Nuhu Ribadu, and guess what happened? So people now went as far. I mean, while celebrating the release of the St. Mary's, remaining 130 children from St. Mary's School. People come to talk, say, excuse me, how they use release them again? And now people want to people go dig at this interview where BC Oga Malam Nasri El-Rufai bin gets. Where Ibise talk for that interview, say how ona go they pay bandits them and terrorists, they settle them. And he mentioned no Ribado precisely in that interview at that time. So people come, they go dig and say, oh, first of all, when they kidnap these children, they no correspondence to the families. And then people come, they talk, say, oh, families come, they worry, say they don't know where their children they or they panic and all that. Now, Gano Ribado tell them, say, calm down. Your children, they're in safe hands. They are okay. So, and after he talked that one, too long, they release first batch. And now, too long, they release second batch. So people, they talk, say, so could it be that what's, what did they call them? El-Rufai talk, not true, that they're actually paying and settling bandits. That's what people started trending on social media. People go dig back that video again, begin repost them for the streets of social media, along those messages and what tell you plenty of people really talk that time. And it's not just about that. People come begin link them to, no wonder he would give guns to Fulani headsmen, say made them be vigilantes. When they be saying that these people, some people don't, they also accuse, saying they chase them away from their villages. Make a reminder of that interview again.
Is to pay bandits, give them monthly allowance, or send food to them in the name of non-kinetic. It's nonsense. We are empowering bandits. It's not the government of Kaduna State. It's a national policy driven by the Office of National Security Advisor, and Kaduna is part of it. Many states are objecting to that, but that is the policy now. Keep the bandits. They paid them 1 billion naira the first time the school was attacked and students abducted. They are paying bandits. They are apologizing to them. They are
find this information about 1 billion naira being paid.
Look, let the governor or anyone come and deny. We have the evidence. When the time comes, we reveal everything. They are paying bandits. They are empowering bandits. This is what this government is doing.
And you think that will not work?
It will not work. It has never worked anywhere. Okay? Is to pay bandits, give them monthly allowance, or send food to them in the name of non-kinetic. It's nonsense. We are empowering bandits. It's not the government of Kaduna State. It's a national policy driven by the Office of National Security Advisor, and Kaduna is part of it. Many states are objecting to that, but that is the policy now. Keep the bandits. They paid them 1 billion naira the first time the school was attacked and students abducted. They are paying bandits. They are apologizing to them. They are
find this information about 1 billion naira being paid.
Look.
Okay, so you don't hear that. So that interview started trending earlier today, and people said, because how else? Because most times when they get this release, no clear explanation as to how they use release them. What's it happen when I use release them? What really went down? On a day, the tell us what's happened. So how come it be say people started talking and Nigerians can say, okay, so now the method be this way based on how they use to use. I'm coming on to that designation because that designation they cause a lot of while. But before then, we could go listen to waiting other people also talk, and then more of, first of all, more of waiting the Minister for Information talk earlier today, and then we'll go to waiting orders talk about this issue.
Army. On security, in the era of security in 2025, we saw the presidential declaration of a nationwide security emergency that will, in the months ahead, translate into massive recruitment into the armed forces and the police force. And this also includes the deployment of trained and equipped forest guards to secure our forests and other vulnerable locations. What we used to have in the past is that there are dark spots within our forests that are largely unmanned, and that's creating safe haven for these terrorists and criminal elements. With this kind of recruitment and this declaration by Mr. President, there will be no hiding place for all these criminals and these terrorists hiding again.
All right, so that na part of what the Minister for Information talk. But here is Oga Peter Obi also saying, a few things concerning this whole issue about
doing now is that we have a state that have to go into discussion and negotiation with bandits, giving them a territory within our own sovereign state. So it's really frightening because the details that they keep on telling you will come later are not clear enough. And because if you continue with this level of negotiation with armed bandits and terrorists who are terrorizing young, are targeting vulnerable children and school communities, you're going to embolden them. Because Nigeria is big. If they've done it and successfully done it in Papiri, and they've done in other places where government have come, negotiate with them. In some cases, people feel that the government negotiation does not just go with ordinary negotiation, that there's this level of exchange that eventually will swell the bandits' pocket and their economy, which will make them more, emboldened to continue to take certain actions against them.
You've used the word negotiation or negotiate 4 times in 30 seconds. Do you have it on good authority that the federal government negotiated with the bandits?
I don't know what you want to defend. If a bandit carried innocent school children, we have not seen anything about any kind of discussion. And they have said it. Even the National Security Advisor said it, that we are talking, your children are fine. You didn't listen to that. The way the National Security said, your children are fine, they are happy, so we said that they'll be back soon. That's what he said. So it's clear that there's some level of discussion within the government and bandits.
Discussion. Are you saying then, so wait, the reason I asked is because you said, that we're swelling the pockets of the bandits. So do you have it on good authority that those negotiations always come to money?
It's not a matter of good authority. This is what bandits are doing. They're into a bad economy, running our system, collecting money from kidnapped victims and all sorts of things. That's happened. It's not something that is, done that we don't see it in our daily lives. Even families are paying to bandits. And even when you see this kind of situation, government has not given us detail. There's no full disclosure from the day one. There has never been full disclosure. That you say we are talking to the bandits, your children are fine, they'll be back soon. So I don't understand what level of discussion. Let me tell you clearly.
Yeah.
We should not go on this path that we're going. We should involve more on the path of even having any level of the discussion with the bandits.
No, but there are 2 things. For instance, if there's a hostage situation, you're not just going to barge in and begin to shoot because you want those people released. So we don't know what context that discussion was. Because, for instance, if maybe security agencies were at that point wherein they're negotiating or talking about the release. So that's why we say, look, even this morning, government needs to speak up in terms of put it in proper context. What was the nature of that conversation you had with security agencies? Because if they don't speak up, just as we also highlighted, people will speculate. They will feel it. Because, you ask yourself, why would, assuming that were the case, why would governments, for instance, even enter into a deal or negotiate or proper bandits in a country? If not maybe a federal government, for instance. What's the rationale?
I think it's because of our weak security infrastructure and probably not boosting the morals of those who, undertake the security on our behalf. let me tell you, we've seen cases in this country where America have, stepped foot on the soil of this, sovereign state, and then come to rescue their citizens in an hostage situation. You need to be able to realize that there are a lot of other technology that people have been using, like Google Night Vision and all sorts of things that the bandit might not have access to, which government must invest our money into. Because we can't continue to have such a level of discussion at all, at any level, with any ragtag group of people. It's putting our country more in deeper danger because, when it happened, look at Kwara, look at Kogi and Kogi today. There are people who are still under the bandit, it was published on one of the news media handles. So we cannot, this is not something I'm just saying for the purpose of saying because I belong. I'm a Nigerian. We're planning to travel. A lot of my friends are talking, nobody wants to make attempt to travel home. So you can't have this situation like this. We shouldn't talk. We should be able to have a system that not only react, but proactive enough to stop these people in their tracks.
Does it make any difference? Or rather,
All right. So, you don't hear that argument by Oga Peter Obi, Oga Kota for CUPP, as they be say in the talk about that like that. But here is a bigger problem that may happen. Remember a video, the footage I played yesterday, where a young lady said that, no, these guys are actually not terrorists. That you should actually empower them because they be more of access to the country than terrorists. And then now, they don't go designate them. She even said this before the president designated them. And you just be wondering, within some northerners, would they talk about this? Now, here's someone who was interviewed earlier today, and within EBC, in get to talk concerning that incident. And this now within EBC, they worry a lot of people. And Prince Francis Chilaka was here yesterday and said that this designation, day before yesterday, that this designation by the president will not hold because at the courts are supposed to not be the president. So a mere pronouncement rather by the president will not work. So here's Kabiru Adamu, I think. He's the MD of Beacon Consulting Limited, speaking on President Tinubu's administration, declaring the Fulani militias, bandits, and other people that would kidnap as terrorists. But before they make, I remind you that's the way that young lady talked. Just a little clip.
These are not terrorists. They're not bandits. These are forest rangers. They are held with much value because of the in-depth knowledge they have gained across the years as a result of their moving from one place to another as nomads. Let me tell you one thing. No matter how educated you are in the textbook, and you have never left that city of yours or left your country or moved from one place to another, you are more like an illiterate. You are not educated until you move around. These nomads are assets to this country. And we do not know, but the international community and the government knows how important they are. There are some minerals in this country.
Well, to this country. I just thought to remind you exactly how she take put them. Now here, waiting Oga Kabiru talk. Say the president actually no get power to make such a pronouncement. And do you see
they're not terrorists? They're not bandits. These are forest rangers. They are held with much value
like this,
because of the in-depth knowledge they have gained across the years.
Northerners resisting, and if they resist, what form of resistance is this gets? Do you see them protesting about it generally, or do you see them saying that, you know what, we will punish you for 2027? What do you think? Remember how almost most Northerners were in support of President Goodluck Jonathan, who were in support of him in 2015. He immediately lose election. You find out most of them were actually moles in his administration. Make a good play you listening
from some of the very strong words that have emanated from the presidency in, say, the last 72 hours. The president first made that statement at the joint session of the National Assembly, literally saying, look, guys, no more games. If you're bearing arms, we're coming after you and there will be no mercy. Today, that has been re-echoed by the Minister of Information. Should we take them seriously, or this is just another talk?
I think the action that they would take in the coming days will determine whether we would take them seriously or not. The law that determines who a terrorist in Nigeria is the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition and Prevention Act as amended in 2022. And it defines what terrorism is. It also provides the procedure for determining what or who is a terrorist group or who is supporting or financing terrorism. And that law puts the responsibility for that determination in a competent court of jurisdiction. It also puts the responsibility for petitioning and reaching that determination on the Attorney General of the Federation. So even the President in this instance does not have the power to determine whether a group is terrorist or not. Neither does any member of the administration at the executive arm that power resides with the judicial arm of government, the competent court of jurisdiction. So what they would do, and Jeffrey, I think it's very important that we deconstruct the eco-space within which criminality and other violent acts happens in Nigeria. At the last time I attended.
All right, so there you heard it. So the president not get power to do that. Do you think the Northerners may hold on to this and tell the president, you get mind? You know, so you don't even get the power to do this thing. Now you can't get mind, can't designate us as terrorists. You get the mind to designate, not us, rather. I mean, what some people call their freedom fighters as terrorists. So you see this bringing a problem in future. That's my question will be saying a lot of people ask. Well, let's take a little more of waiting a bit of the Kabiru talk. Take a listen.
We're going to come to the issue of the state being able to be swift in action. We see what Nigeria did with Benin Republic. But my next question, I'm looking at a few numbers and a few data, which I would like you to help us interpret, because you also belong to the intelligence community. In the last, say, 10, 11 years, we had the Chibok incident where over 200 girls were abducted in Chibok. And then we had the Dapchi incident where we had over 100 girls abducted. And then this is record high, the latest one in Niger State in Papri, which is over 300 children and their teachers abducted. Now, I'm looking at those children. Literally, it's horrifying to see that those kids, they could be your children, my children, being in the hands of abductors, and see the way they came out. It feels to me that there's a messaging that these abductors and these terrorists or these groups are trying to send to the Nigerian state. So 2 questions in one. Why is it easy to move such number of persons in Nigeria without being identified until they succeed? In 10 years, we've had 3 major. These are the ones that are on record. Maybe there are others. Why is it that easy for it to happen in Nigeria? And what is the messaging that these guys are sending, especially with these 300 that have now been released?
In simple terms, they are challenging the supremacy of the use of force by the state. The brazen way they go after these school children. And then in most instances, they are successfully able to abduct them. And they are successfully able to keep them for the period during which they negotiate their release. In simple terms, they are showing that capacity, that ability to carry out the act. Now, to your question on why this is happening. Number one is the groups are armed. They have the capacity and the capability. Number two, they are able to keep this number of students in so-called ungoverned spaces. Spaces that you have very little government presence. The authority of the state in those locations is extremely weak. So they're able to keep them. In this instance, it was the Niger State. They were released around Borgu. We know that the forests in those areas are literally in the hands of this element. So those are the 2 major reasons why we continue to see this type of incident. There is a third component which worries me more than the first 2, and that is the fact that they are able to negotiate something out of government to release these kids. These kids are not rescued. It's a release, and under certain terms. Now, the fact that this is a negotiated release means that that group knows tomorrow if it wants something else from government, it would also carry out the same act, and then it will be able to negotiate whatever it is out of government. So that's extremely worrisome. If you want to end this, you cannot have a situation where you negotiate with these groups and then they're able to kind of get their way. But then what is even more important is to prevent them from carrying out the incident. So we must strengthen security around our schools. And of course, I'm sure you've discussed extensively around the Safe School Initiative on this platform. It was an initiative that was introduced in 2014. 11 years down the road, we still have schools that are extremely vulnerable. And the groups will, unfortunately, and I'm not a harbinger of bad news, but the groups will continue to target these vulnerable schools and abduct people from them unless, number one, we strengthen the security around these schools, and number two, we go after these groups, and the ones that we need to arrest, we arrest, the ones that we need to kill, we kill, but we prevent or reduce or eliminate their capacity to act. As long as we don't do these two things, go after the group, destroy them, and then number two, strengthen security along the schools, then unfortunately we remain vulnerable to the activities of this group. This is not rocket science. I think it's very simple, it's straightforward to understand.
Wow, so sad. How would we say, would they discuss how vulnerable a state, a nation they to people where be say they terrorize their own people, people will be saying they feed disseminate, at whiskers. Now, waiting to be said, would they discuss with this? They're very, very sad. But yeah, a lot of people don't talk so well. This may just be a disaster waiting to happen. I don't know what your thoughts would be on this, but I don't drop the message. But let's quickly visit other conversation. I don't tell us that NSA don't hand over the remaining 130 St. Mary's Catholic School pupils teachers to Governor Bago. So I don't think there's anything more to say about that because time don't go, and I'd like to open the phone lines so that you can jump in on the conversation as fast as you can, and then we'll take your calls. I don't plan to leave on a too late because I already started very, very late. So I don't want to finish up too late. There are other conversations. I'll just push through them, gloss through them very, very quickly. Moving on to other issues, we hear that 28 people have been kidnapped. At least 28 people who were traveling to attend Malud gathering in Zak village, a Bashir district of Wase local government area in Plateau State, were kidnapped. Now, the attack occurred on Sunday night when the assailants intercepted a vehicle conveying the travelers near Zak village and forcefully took all the occupants into bush, leaving the vehicle behind. A youth leader, of course, they don't confirm the incident. So they say that they stopped. Plateau State still under attack. Police arrest 3 over alleged possession of human parts in Osun State. So for inside Osun State, they carry 3 men as they carry human parts, and they don't charge them for conspiracy and disrespect for a corpse for inside Ileobu town. And the suspects, according to a statement issued by the command's public relations officer, DSP Abiodun Jelabi, on behalf of the Commissioner of Police, CP Ibrahim Gutan, were identified as 47-year-old Taiwo Ogunbode, 52-year-old Thomas Ugo, and 33-year-old Latif Afiz. The police said that they were arrested. It's really crazy. I cannot even talk about that. So the rate at which we still they do these ritual killings, I don't know why the Babalawo when they do the ritual killings never reach too much. I don't understand. Well, moving on. Oluwobiwo Oba Abdul Rashid Akombi don't say there is no terrorist group in his domain. Now, the monarch warned against the spread of what he described as untrue information about the town. This was contained in the statement that he released earlier today. Don't talk say no terrorist group it will remain the most peaceful town in Southwest for you to stay. I thought to put that into perspective, mention that. At least 2 people again have been killed following an attack by suspected armed bandits on a farm in Guma local government area of Benue State. Again, it don't happen again. 2 people, then they ambush the people inside their farm, kill them. 2 people for inside Benue State. Okay, so following the United States government's approval of 2.1 billion naira health support package for Nigeria, with a significant focus on Christian faith-based healthcare providers across the country, Nigerians are, however, expressing doubts whether the money would be used for the right reason. That's not what's in the talk. Now, people don't they talk say, you sure say they will use this money for better reason. And Nigerians when they talk say, it be like say Trump don't dash people free money like this when they use Grove. One social media user, Collins said, at Collins tweet, he said, you place Nigeria on a level of visa ban. And not just visa ban, on an off you do visa, on an off you apply for green card. Nigerians we don't date yes before no you apply for green card. When I know even if you apply for citizenship anymore, it is that bad. So you place Nigerians on all levels of visa ban, and yet you go around offering grants and aid for health funding for Christians, knowing who the Nigerian government are and what they can do for any form of effects. They would always collect no atom of pride or shame whatsoever. Child, why now? Health funding for Christians that will be handled by Muslim leadership is nothing but a joke. That's what I think online guru now isn't it? Online guru underscore say, they give Christians health funding, but Muslim tickets now they handle them. Gosh. And then Lee Zamba says the money will still be looted. US should stop sending money to Nigerian government. How bad? This money don't enter bush. Now, so another person talk. That's a Baruch Bashan. I talk that one. Official Orlando says loud. 30 December funds don't show. And then who said this? Now, Noah also says using US Nigeria has to monitor the disbursement of this grant. If not, Nigerian Muslim regime of the President Tinubu administration and his Boko Haram no. Did you say Boko Haram VP? No. That they would divert the funds to support Sharia and Islamization of Nigeria. Hey, Nigerians, you guys stop now. Why are they do like this? So moving on, the federal government, so the Federal High Court in Abuja has granted an application by the federal government seeking to reopen a terrorism case against 5 suspects accused of providing material support to the notorious terror kingpin Bello Tuji. Now, Justice Emeka Nwite approved the application, ordering that the charge mark be resumed, be listed on court list again. So the people then case we visit they don't suspend before they will reopen them again. We know why you be saying on a day title to Jubelu, and people feel say this one like good one. Now, very quickly, if you remember, the inspector of police Kayode Igbetokon has not demobilized. Remember, I said there was a story that he demobilized the what did they call them terrorists? The policemen will visit the station for President Tinubu, and all that. Well, it doesn't a lie, you don't do anything. That he has not demobilized officers attached to Moko 24 Police Mobile Force, PMF Presidential Escort, State House Abuja. Contrary to earlier reports, sources say sources don't talk. So what they do, they go lodge the guys then for hospital, for hotel, maybe they just did the chillax first and they don't resume their duty normal. That's what they talk. Okay. Now, crisis is brewing in Adamawa community as militias murdered NYC student, NYC member. His name is B. Croft Waynes Frost Danko Mama, a native of the Togo community in the Lamudi local government area. Now, Big Croft, will be NYC person, was deployed to Katsina State, where he was actively serving Nigeria before returning home briefly to seek medical attention. However, he was reportedly traveling back to his community, Fortu, on the evening of Saturday, December 20, 2025, when his journey ended in tragedy. Sources said, told Sahara reporters, this is an exclusive from them, that the car member was last seen in Lafia en route to Lamode. He never made it home again. According to multiple accounts from residents who at least requested anonymity, Beecroft was allegedly stopped alongside other travelers at Lamode, identified as a Sobo indigene, forcefully taken away and later killed in cold blood. This is crazy. Okay, and just to mention too, they say on a debt servicing will go up 54.3 trillion naira of Nigeria revenue in the next 3 years. So now that amount on would be used to service on a debt. I hate to talk about these things because it gives me headache. It's really, really crazy. In another news, the Federal High Court sitting in Warri Delta State has urged to commit the Inspector General of Police, Dr. Kayode Igbetokun, the First Police Relations Officer, CSP Benjamin Munde, and Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Legal Services, AIG, Emmanuel Arena, to prison for alleged contempt of court over the tinted glass permits with a no grade stop. And here's an interesting conversation here. How a Nigerian Solidarity Organization don't condemn what they describe as a brazen act of maritime piracy following reports that the United States seized Chinese commercial vessels within Venezuela territorial waters. So we support Venezuela. How dare you do that to them? How dare you do that? Oh, I beg, make I just pass the matter then sharp they go because time don't you go. I don't go feed drill on them. Did I also tell you that the Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has cautioned the newly sworn-in chairman of Agege local government area, who is the son of Obasa, Abdul Ganiyu Obasa, against divisive tendencies, urging him to govern inclusively and focus on unity-driven grassroots development. So they swear I'm into power today. This the person who is supposed to contest. Somehow the person who is supposed to contest will say, I know they agree, I know they step down, he contest as the chairman, he do VP. Next thing, chairman, after they don't swear I'm in finish, say, you know what? I believe they pay me, I don't want to do this chairmanship again, he resign. Obasa son don't take over. Interesting, right? Okay. NSCDC operators shoots 5 traders at Just Market as right groups petition IGP Ekweto. So why on go shoot traders like that? Nigerian soldiers in the northeast operation Lafia Do lament irregular unpaid allowances. Said they need to pay them the allowances at all. According to sources on Monday, officers deployed to the operation have not been receiving their monthly operational allowances on schedule, despite being stationed far from their home commands. They said some people will receive allowance for only 1 month, some of 2 months, some of 3 months, while some people will not even receive allowance at all. Wow. Okay, so I tell you before, say Borno president residents are confused. Say, okay, president, which one will it be say come commission motorcycle for us when it be say on a bar motorcycle for inside the state? How won't manage like this? How will take the drum? That's what they talk. But let's get straight to what Peter Obi said. Former Anambra State Governor and 2023 Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi has weighed into the ongoing controversy surrounding allegations made by billionaire businessman Aliko Dangote against Farouk Ahmed and the other pata. Peter Obi talk a lot of things for inside that matter. He can't talk say now, wow, this kind of accusation. Say that 7.5 billion naira will be the money where they talk say will be the naira value of the dollar wey Dangote talk say in spend for children education for 6 years. Say that money for carry 6,000 Nigerian children yearly go school. As 18 million Nigerian children they out of school right now. So this kind of money, now wow, you know what Peter Obi go fit do. We'll give you statistics, and he did that. Okay, so Nigerians don't remind President Bola Ahmed Tinubu say, excuse me, uncle, sir, sorry, daddy, no vex. Now be you tell us if we not vote for you for 2020. Sorry, if you not give us energy for 2027, I beg come out us for office. I beg make we not vote for you by all means. How come you have started in NS everything we get to do with your what did they call them? Everything we get to do with your 2027 without giving us electricity? Or what is going on? So Nigerians don't they ask questions. Say what's in they happen? You don't start 2027 work out, you don't give us electricity. So Nigerians now had to remind the president today, as the one way as the electricity matter don't become a lot of problem, and Nigerians on the cry say lights no day. It can't be like say the light situation can't do worse this December period more. And the same can't make some Nigerians can't remember the incidents. Can't they ask president say, excuse me, sir, Shebina, you talk say if you don't give us electricity, make we no vote for you. Okay, right now electricity no day. What's in the happen now? How about making you even contest at all again? Because it can't be like say the thing can't even day worse now under you. That's the way we say it did before. That's what some people are saying. While some people, get other things to talk about the matter. If you remember, during the campaign period, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will talk, for one of the famous statements, talk say, by all means, say he will provide on our with electricity. And say if you know if you give on our electricity, not gonna no vote for her. That we see ABC talk. So Nigerians don't come remind them of that conversations now. Say what's in they happen. Say if you don't give, if I don't give you constant electricity in the next 4 years, don't vote for me. Second term. And the statement captured in widely circulated campaign videos was part of Tinubu's speech, of course, for 2020 about power. And the statement captured, so as Tinubu approaches the midpoint of his first term, Nigerians are grappling with recurring blackouts, multiple national grid disturbances, and generation levels that remain far below the nation's demand, raising questions about the feasibility of the pledge with just 1 year left. So, Nigerians can remind them of this WBC post. Say, Oga, how far? Maybe we say, tell us this one. What will happen? If you remember that video where we say it post, as people don't get light. So the Nigerian power sector has seen some incremental progress under the Tinubu administration. Peak generation reached record high of around 6,000 megawatts from the 4,000 thereabouts earlier in 2025, up from previous average, I think about 4,500 megawatts. Now, reform under the Electricity Act 2023 have decentralized aspect of the market, allowing states to develop their own electricity policies while investment exceeding $2 billion have followed into the sector. So, like Joseph, but even at that, it never really make for good light. So Nigerians can't they complain, can't they remind the president, say, okay, not be you tell us this thing. Make I play you that video where we say talk that thing again. Just a reminder of what he said to us earlier.
By all means necessary, you must have electricity. and you will not pay for estimated bill anymore. A promise made will be a promise kept. If I can't keep the promise and I come back for second term, don't vote for me. That's the truth. Unless I give you adequate reasons why I couldn't deliver.
Okay, so perhaps we'll go settle for the adequate reason and know what's in the reason for the president could be when we could get electricity. Minister of Power Adelabu defend the administration record, pointing to enhanced grid, and all that. But all of this won't be like saying no add for Nigerians, because Nigerians get to remind the president today again. Now, just to remind you before I begin to take your calls, phone lines are open very quickly. Just to let you know, 0817-029-4077 is the WhatsApp number to call, 0817-029-4077. Now, you follow the link with it by the pinned post. The link will bring you straight into the studio for you to take part for inside the conversation. But just to quickly let you know, we here say President Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led government is set to borrow a cumulative 54.7 trillion naira between 2026 and 2028. No, you don't understand. This will not be the one they don't borrow since 2023. That is another one where they don't set to borrow between now and 2028. Now, 54.7 trillion naira. Yeah. Now, following projections contained in the newly approved medium-term expenditure framework for the 3-year period. So, according to a report by, it's really crazy. Make I just stop and there, beg. Make I just stop and there. Make I just stop on there. Nigeria's phone lines are open, I beg. Keep calling at 0817-029-4077. Hello, good evening and welcome. T.Y. Danjuma, I miss you. Good evening, sir. Are you there? Is this T.Y.
Yes.
Danjuma?
How you doing,
I'm
Precious?
very well, thank you, sir. Welcome, sir.
Wow, good to. I've been background for a while because Nigeria matter don't they give person headache. So
Now
I
let
said,
they tell you to protect your mental health, so not let them worry you.
how person go to hear all those kinds of things, go worry somebody. Anyway, make I just say a few things about.
All right, so that's why you know now. You know, say the chairman here, so just hold on for make a talk to Gatoni from Chicago.
No
Gatoni from
problem.
Chicago, good evening and welcome. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome.
I saw one video first of all of Sheikh Tinubu coming down and government officials that were coming in. In what kind of country are we into? See Tinubu dropping down from heaven and see government official. It's on Sahara now, just the opposite of 1 hour ago. This video, it's so embarrassing. What is it the first presidential song we had in this federation? It's so different. And meanwhile, what is so special about France that our president, above every other country in the world, is France? What is his relationship with France? And most of my youth age, I live in francophone areas, and they hate French. French people, they hate them. Togo, Abidjan, they don't want to hear about France. But Nigeria reminds with them. Finding them so comfortable by our own table. Thousand people or something in the government cannot provide to your citizens. Before you tax citizen, you have to provide those amenities to them. You tax, say, and look at Amira, so like what you said, we have petrol always. But what about the diamond? What about what is going on in Zafara? Who is taking account of it? Who is taking account of it? So that you see a helicopter coming down there with the white people picking it up. Is it for free? I don't know what I mean. I don't know where are we going front, are we going back? And the problem is they say you can remove the president only by ballot. But look at what he's doing. Getting all the governors. But I mean, the problem is that
Thank you, sir. They don't deny
A
it.
lot of countries are watching us. They're watching Nigerians. It's so embarrassing. I don't know how to see face people when they goes out. They welcome me, they look at them. My brothers, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Ogatoni from Chicago. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I understand how you feel about these things, and sometimes it's something we can't even help. But hey, this is Nigeria. I mean, would it take us small like that? Hello, good evening, Oga Franklin. Welcome. What's your remind us where you call from?
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, sir. Where are you calling from, sir?
I'm calling from the US. I'm calling from Florida.
You're welcome, sir. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, that guy you have before talking about this taxing, the guy is talking crap, okay? So you can't be taxing people from their toe to their head, and you're not producing anything and making life easy for them.
Now you be the chairman of Presidential Task Force. So, for me, you don't know.
I don't care what he is. I don't care what he is.
But he's saying that the tax law, the one that they want to do now, is actually better for the poor, for low and medium income earners, more than the one that is existing. That's what he said.
Precious.
Sir?
If you're buying that, I have a car, I have a Lamborghini or Ferrari to sell to you.
I don't get money to buy it.
Okay? Yeah. So the guy is talking nonsense.
Oh, okay.
So why do they have to sort it out to France? France.
You never answered that side. You never answered that one.
France is one of the most wicked colonial masters Africa ever had. Okay. After France, Belgium, then Britain. Those three countries, don't forget, they are related. France and Britain are like twins. Remember King William III. Okay? Who left France to go rescue Britain in the 1500s? Okay? All right. So they're all linked with their umbilicus. So when they came to Africa, we are Mumu, and then they go to the scramble for Africa in 18-something with the German friend who said, okay, let's go scramble for Africa and share Africa. Okay? Now, there was Germany, there was France, there was Britain, there were, America wasn't there. But after the First World War and Germany was defeated, then France and Britain shared all the German territories. Cameroon used to be German territory. Togo and Benin used to be German territory. Niger used to be German territory. But after the war, they shared it. Now, look at what France did to Haiti and African territories. You're going to be paying me, you're going to be having your reserve over there to... Why France now is using our president, I don't understand that. That Tinubu can count out, because Tinubu has to do that anyway, because Tinubu cannot come to America, he cannot be safe in England, because a lot of Nigerians are in England. So all this tax thing, tax, how can you be taxing somebody? When I was growing up in Nigeria in the old colonial days, we have water system in Onitsha, we have water system in Enugu, we have water system in Port Harcourt, we have water system in Lagos. There was what is called public pump. If the main pump to your house don't run, you go outside the next block. Is there any city in Lagos, Abuja that has public pump? Everybody has borehole. And you're taxing people? That means when I go to my village now and build a house and have a borehole, you're going to be taxing me on that too? Please tell that guy to go and sit down. All these things he's trying to explain is garbage.
Thank you.
Reality is what we have to deal with in Africa. We don't have of Britain, all those nonsense. We have the oil, we have the gold, we have the diamond, we have the uranium, do we have to go and beg them to teach us how to use what we have? That's what is aching me. In all these things they are talking about tax or no tax or no tax or no tax. What have you provided to the people? Are they giving us electricity that is constant?
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, precious.
Sir?
I sent you something. I don't know if you got it.
Hell,
I sent it to you like
God bless you. I received a lot of things, but because there are some people who wanted to be anonymous, I couldn't even say, I couldn't, call out the names of the people. So make I no offend anybody. But yes, I got a couple of money recently. I got a $153. I don't know from who. I got a 73.
I replied to you on the
Thank
same
you.
text.
Yes,
that
thank
I
you.
sent you.
Thank you. I am going to make the announcement right away. No worry, I could give accounts. Thank you so
You don't
much.
have an announcement. At least you texted me. At least I expected
I
you to text
no,
me
I
back.
didn't know it was you. If I had seen your name attached to it, I would reply. Everybody I saw their name attached to it, I replied. That means your transaction did not come in your name. That's why I didn't reply to you. Trust me.
It came in my name. That means you don't love me anymore. Okay, I still love you
I'm
anyway.
sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, sir. No, honestly, I'm not seeing your name here. Okay.
And Christmas wishes to Prince Chilaka and Kachi, okay?
They would hear.
All
They
right.
would hear.
Okay.
Thank you.
Tell them I said that.
Thank you
Okay.
so much, sir. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, sir. Bye, sir. Bye, sir. Okay. All right. So you see, I received a couple of alerts from people, and some people just won't make I know call their name. So I not feel really talk about them like that, so that no go offend people. But I did receive 100,000 naira. I don't know from who. I think I know the person who sent the 17. But I got a 146. I know who sends this one, and I appreciate your guy, Emmanuel. God bless you. Maybe not a first name, I could just talk. God bless your guy, Emmanuel. Thank you so very much. And there's another 150,000. There is no name of sender, and I don't know who this person is. So you see, I'm so sorry. And then somebody else sends 30,000 naira. He just tagged it Capricorn. There is no name of sender from 1 digit packs. Please, now God will bless you now. Ulufemi, I see you. Thank you so much. I saw what you sent. I'll just, leave your name there. Mr. Sunday, I'm not going to call the rest of the names. Thank you so much because I know some people want to be anonymous and I appreciate you. And then I see another person who sent through Western Union, and I want to say big thank you to all of you. Don't worry, this money will be put into great use. I think I should be inviting Zaria this week, so that we'll talk about how we will fit help, begin to talk about, how good fit use help them. And then also the Oga from Plateau States. Thank you. See why Danjuma, I'm so sorry so I keep you waiting. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Sure, make I quickly let you know, say Trump don't recall, I think about 2 dozen of ambassadors across the world, including that of Nigeria. They say the Biden administration bring them in, so they don't want them again. So they don't recall them. You understand? That one did. And then your AES brothers, your Sahel brothers, don't launch unified force to use fight all the bad men. I do hope that this force will be really useful for especially what do they call them, Mali, where these people don't be closing on so badly. But let me have your say, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Even Burkina Faso is not. It's not. It's also the situation is bad, but they are fighting hard. But make I just quickly talk about. First of all, make I thank God for the children from St. Mary's Catholic School, Papari, who we hear, have been released after about 1 month in kidnappers' den. But there's something where they worry me about the release. They were released in peace. First of all, they tell us say 50 people escape. And then they tell us say another 100 was released after negotiations. And then the latest one now 130 after negotiations, which means something don't change hand. But the total figure of the people where they kidnap, according to CAN, now 303. Some other sources they put them at 315. But if you add all these figures, 50, 100, 130, it gives you 280. And yet the government say everybody don't be released. You know balance now. You know balance. Even if not 300, it means that there are still some people who are not accounted for. So I don't understand. And one of the videos where you play, so one of the moderators really asked, how can 300 people just be kidnapped like that? You know what it would take to kidnap 300 people and then move them to wherever they are, and where would you keep 300 people? There are so many unanswered questions. And then the manner in which way they take release them, if you look at it, they knew, that means they know, somebody knows where they are, where they were. And then, from the thing where you say, Ribaru, they talk, make una no worry, say, we'll get them back. This thing is contrived. It's contrived. And it's so sad. But thank God that at least the parents, for the ones who they release, the anguish and the trauma where they go, the way for they go through, at least they don't they a little bit relaxed. But it has not stopped. It has not stopped. Why are we not looking at being proactive? Why are we waiting for people to be kidnapped and then we'll go and give them money and make money for these sponsors and this? So the whole thing becomes business. I don't understand. If you remember, Precious, you go see, say, there were directors of Ministry of Defense who were going for training to Abuja. That was November 9th. And they were kidnapped on their way. Now, ransom was paid, 6.5 million each for the 6 people.
Who talk say they pay ransom, or they say they release them all?
No, ransom was paid. Because I tell you why. First of all, they say all of them don't they released. But relations of two of the people where they kidnapped say they never see their relations. Mrs. Chinwe, Emeribe, and Mrs. Wazurike say they never see their two relations, and they paid 6.5 million. They spoke to Arise. So that one when they talk say nothing changed. Now lie. They paid money. That's what the woman told the 2 women told Arise, and they never see their people. And yet they tell us say all the 6 people don't they released. That's another lie. So you go to wonder, why are these people? Would they like to tell lies? We saw it the same in the same case of Brigadier Musa Meso, rest in peace. I don't want to talk too much about him because that one might be one of the things we just make me feel that is all over for Nigeria. Because while that incident happened, the army spokesperson tell us, oh, all of them don't come back plus the teams. Only for us to hear this nasty thing will happen. And the thing will pain me well, will make me I just switch off. They say that day the president went and was addressing what do they call them, judges, and they were singing on your mandate we shall stand. They didn't even remember that somebody's father, somebody's father, husband, who went to go and serve Nigeria, got his life extinguished in the way that it happened. And I just imagine, say, the widow of this man and the children, go they look their father that way. That Nigeria is Nigeria. I just, I almost collapsed. The president, not even, to say, let us observe 1 minute or 2 minutes of this thing for this guy, and many others will don't die. And then the VP was somewhere in the north celebrating the people who don't cross over to APC. This country is useless. This country is useless completely. I just, if you know what happened to me, I just say it's finished for Nigeria. No iota of this thing, for people where they, oh my God. If you leave that one, Precious, the minister of, you remember, say they tell us, say, we don't overshoot our non-oil revenue projection.
Yes.
By about August or June. No need to borrow. And that came from the president. And you see the song where they sing now. Now they are talking about deficit of 13 trillion. So how can you believe these people? How can you do business with these kind of people? Not be some person they criticize government, but you just can't believe them. You flash back again when you go back. You see, remember all the trade missions we don't have, some of them, the ones we go Dubai, the ones we go India, Japan, and Brazil. They came back and they were talking about very lofty achievements where we don't achieve the and inflow will go coming. Some of those countries come back to say all this in a lie. Now, BS. We know all those where they can't tell on an lie. We heard it now. I mean, here.
Plenty now. Saudi Arabia only. Plenty.
Uh-huh.
India.
Oh. And then you now look.
The Mexico oil on the Mexico shipping.
Oh. And then you now look back now. You now see the one we happened recently. This tax, this thing, where they don't approve, then sign. Only for the Gazette to come and talk a different thing. But who does that? Which kind of country be this one? Eh? And everybody just see they go like nothing don't happen. Everybody just they go like nothing don't happen. The people who will put there were supposed to represent us. They go give them $50,000 and $30,000. Everybody go close mouth, chop clean mouth. Now, wow, I think something has to happen. No? Something really has to happen because this is not a country anymore. This is not the way to go. Let me just rest my case there, Precious. Good night, John.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Akati White Angela. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right, Nigerians, make I drop the curtain here too. Thank you so much for everybody will be part of the show. I've always continue to thank God for the support all the time. We will continue to talk for the growth and development of our country. If you need to follow us on social media, I beg you to follow us across all social media platforms for Precious in your TV. And Mr. Walla, thank you. I saw the $100 you sent. See, God go bless you. You no go spoil you. Who say your water no go boil? You no go even enter. You no go even enter fire at all. At all. Fire no go green catch for you at all. At all. God bless you. And I promise this will be put to very good use. And I appreciate you guys a lot. I understand. Say a lot of one abroad get a lot of responsibilities for Nigeria, more so this festive season. And then I still make out efforts to contribute to people. You won't no go spoil. Thank you. I bless you guys. My papa go say the water we go drink. No go run past you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, man. I see you again tomorrow, God willing. Protect your mental health. Remember to always do that because Wahala for Nigeria need to finish at all at all. Good night and God bless you. Thank you for joining us. Bye.